my YouTube family. This is the OG Crypto New Jack coming at you with some juicy news. But before I begin, let me say I'm not a financial advisor. Anything you see or hear in this video is for educational and informational purposes only. It should not be considered as financial advice. Remember to do your own research and consult with a qualified professional before making investment decisions. Okay, we'll begin with the total crypto market cap, and it's coming in at 1.15 trillion. It's down 0.4%. Bitcoin is coming in at number one at 26,472. Ethereum is coming in at number two at 1,835. Our beloved XRP is number 6 at 53 cents. Taking a look at crypto bubbles, looks like what's that? BGB coming in the top gainer at 4.6, and Hex looks like is the top loser, down 8.8. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index is coming in neutral at 50. And moving on from there, we're going to start the video right now with some conspiracy theories. Satoshi Nakamoto, some people say it was just one individual that created this and then disappeared. And then there is other things that came out. Allegedly, Homeland Security investigators went to California, and Satoshi Nakamoto turned out to be 4 different people. I guess this is nothing official that came out from the government. And there are other theories that it was created by the U.S. government to get people to buy Bitcoin instead of buying real gold, because supposedly the government didn't want the people to buy real gold. And then the other theory is that the government, the American government, created Bitcoin so that when we get into the CBDC era, that it's a smooth transition, being that we were used to digital assets as a Bitcoin, and now we're going to get the US dollar as a CBDC. These are all theories, all conspiracies. I personally do not know which is which. I don't think anybody does, except for the few select people who actually did create Bitcoin, who actually were the government officials that did the investigation. But Digital Asset put this thing out there, and he said, finally they're saying it, but it's not Bitcoin, it never was. Remember, guys like him are the same ones that have been shouting Bitcoin and Ethereum for years. Why is he just now admitting he's known this all along? So I'm going to play it now, let him say what he was told.
Tell me more. I said, and I think the US government and the UK government invented it, which is the NSA and the GCHQ in the UK, who are the 2 world centers of cryptography. Because even how the white paper is written,
you think there's Satoshi?
Yes. Always have. And I asked the Department of Defense, they said, yeah, we considered that too. They seeded
it was official, or it was just people from that went rogue?
I don't think it's necessarily a rogueness. I think like Google have, like Google X, where they do tons of experiments, right? They know that one of the esoteric risks for the entire Western system is the issue with money. So there's probably groups of people who are given things to try. And if you can seed a new system, maybe they tried 100 of these and just one succeeded. We don't know. But it would make sense because that's what they do, this kind of stuff. So one of these took off. And so I think it's always been. I don't think it's a coincidence it came out of the financial crisis. I don't think it's a coincidence that the halving cycle and all of this is all related. It is the solution. It always has been the solution. You just can't go there tomorrow. So all you need to do is let it happen slowly.
All right, so I'm going to stop it there. The gentleman speaking, if you're not aware, his name is Raoul Paul. He's a CEO of Real Vision. He was former Goldman Sachs guy, so he's a credible person. He's not a Looney Tune tinfoil hat person by any stretch of imagination. So, but I don't think he's lying. I don't think he's doing anything crazy. I mean, he's just going by what he was told by whoever, the persons that he was having conversations with. So again, I'm not saying what he said is misinformation. It's just that he was told something and he's sharing it on his interview. And you know what? This is a person that has a lot of experience, has his own company, used to work for Goldman Sachs. He's worth hundreds of billions of dollars, not hundreds of billions, hundreds of millions. And you know what? That's his theory. I'm moving on to another person. Zach Rector put this thing out, and he said, if you know who created Bitcoin, you would run as fast as you could to sell it. And he quotes Dan Pena, who's another person, a business person, used to work in the financial industry. He's also worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And this is what he has to say.
If you knew who owned Bitcoin or who started Bitcoin, and you had Bitcoin, you couldn't sleep at night. I know, 100%. And when the real founder of Bitcoin comes out, it is my humble opinion, and there's nothing humble about me, Bitcoin will go to fucking zero.
One day.
And a microsecond, whoop, like that. Conspiracy crypto. And the Russians started 11, 12 years ago to take control of the simple-minded morons. And it's worked.
So there you go. This is another person who seems credible. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I think his net worth is 500 million. He was in Wall Street, finances, all kinds of stuff, owned companies, has a lot of money, is in the circles of people that are in the know. And he states Russia created this. So you got Raoul Paul on one hand, who seems very credible. This gentleman seems very credible. And they got two different stories here. One guy says the Russians created it. The other guy says that it was the NSA and the UK's version of the NSA. So honestly, I don't know what to believe. I think eventually, at some point in the future, we're all the truth will come out and we all will know for sure. But until then, we're all just guessing, and it's just one conspiracy theory after the next. Okay, we're going to move on from conspiracy theories to cold hard facts. We have shout out to Rafa Kahneman. He puts out Ripple Property Metaco has partnered with GFT. Metaco was recently acquired by Ripple a couple of weeks ago, and then Metaco has partnered with GFT. And this is good to see that Ripple and their partnerships keeps on growing. It says the company is getting the safest crypto custody deployment in the market, expert 24/7 support based on enterprise-grade SLAs, increased customer satisfaction, faster systems integration of crypto custody software, technical and functional analysis of DLT projects that can be implemented end-to-end in the way that fits the business, security by design approach to digital asset deployments. That is good to see. Moving on with another Ripple partner. Shout out to the Light Shines in the Darkness. It has FLUTTERWAVE collaborating, and FLUTTERWAVE is a partner. FLUTTERWAVE selects Token.io for UK and EU. A2A payments is a collaboration, enables FLUTTERWAVE to give its African e-commerce merchants enhanced access to UK and EU customers. Moving on, Stuart Alderati. This week we saw the SEC bet on a strategy of shock and awe. My money remains all in on the rule of law. Okay, moving on from there. Shout out to Meta Lawman. He writes, the stakes just keep getting higher for the ruling in the SEC versus Ripple. Here's why. If Judge Torres rules that XRP tokens trading on the secondary market are not securities, it would undermine the entire basis for the SEC's case against Coinbase and much of the Binance case. Number two, in the Coinbase case, the SEC claims that 13 tokens traded on Coinbase are securities. So Coinbase is illegally operating an unregistered securities exchange broker-dealer and clearing broker. But if those 13 tokens are judged not to be securities, the SEC has no case. Number three, before anyone gets too excited, a ruling by Judge Torres will not be binding precedent in other cases, meaning other judges will not be bound to the rule the same way. Only decisions of the courts of appeals and the Supreme Court are binding on lower court judges. But here's what's interesting. The Judge Reardon assigned to the Coinbase case is brand new, only been a judge for 6 months. Judge Reardon works in the same court in Lower Manhattan with Judge Torres. So while Torres' decisions on XRP would not be a binding precedent, I do believe Judge Reardon will pay very close attention to Judge Torres' legal reasoning in ruling whether XRP is a security. And I believe Judge Reardon would follow the same reasoning as she analyzes whether the 13 tokens cited in the Coinbase complaint are securities. And number six, this dynamic, of course, works out both ways. If Judge Torres rules that XRP tokens traded on secondary markets are securities, the SEC will jump for joy and argue that Judge Torres presiding over the Coinbase and Binance case should follow Judge Torres' reasoning. So we'll leave it at that. Very good information. Shout out to Meta Lawman for that. Shout out to Mac Attack. Uphold makes XRP purchases easier with fiat via new partnerships. And that is good to see. Some good news with all this bad news coming out in the media with lawsuits left and right. We finally get some good news to share in the crypto space. And Uphold writes, we are excited to announce that Topper is now integrated into XUMM Wallet. With Topper, XUMM users worldwide now have a fast, easy way to buy digital assets with a credit or debit card. Okay, moving on. Shout out to Bill Morgan. He writes, this ends the myth that Coinbase sees XRP trading because it is a regulated public company with duties to shareholders, and XRP was treated differently because Ripple was actually sued, whereas issuers of other tokens the SEC called securities have not been sued. Here, Coinbase is sued for a staking program, which SEC alleges is an investment contract, but does not intend to cease offering it. That's what he's talking about over here. And you know what? I see his point and why the XRP army is not too happy with Coinbase, but we're not going to be, we're going to still support Coinbase because that's what we do. We got to support everybody in the crypto space. Okay, coming in from Watcher Guru, Justin, Robinhood to DELIST, Cardano, Polygon, and Solana. Of course, this is in regards to the lawsuits dropped on Binance and Coinbase by the SEC this week. Shout out to Mickle Markets. He puts out June 13, Binance US to halt dollar withdrawals on June 13th. Now, of course, that is a date that has been coming around a lot. This has been swirling around social media for the last couple of weeks, that the price of XRP won't be available starting on June 13th, according to Alex, the Google searcher, and I think Siri, Google searches, Alexa, you name it, all these smart intelligence things you can ask questions to. They all say that XRP price will be unavailable after the 13th. You have US Binance not having USD pairs after June 13th. And Eleanor Tourette, she also made the realization. She's like, oh, blooming heck, I just realized June 13th again. There's a lot going on for June 13th. And here's a small little list. Number 1, Binance halts transfers. Number 2, Hinman emails are coming out. Number 3, a meeting on digital assets, as I believe Congressman Patrick McHenry, he has a hearing on the same day, Tuesday, June 13th. You have number 4, Trump's indictment also falls on that date. And then Sherry on the bottom here writes, you missed one. Don't forget the CPI data comes out on the 13th as well. So a lot going on the 13th. If it was a Friday, it would have been a really bad day, being it would have been a Friday 13th, but luckily it's a Tuesday. So we'll see how things play out. And okay, fam, well, that's going to do it for today's video. If you found this video to be helpful, would you please smash a like and subscribe? I would really appreciate it, and it doesn't cost you anything. Thank you much in advance. In the words of Snoop Dogg, keep your mind on your money on your mind. Peace out, fam.